breakdown of the entire process. Ideally, it should have been caught right at the beginning. The government had all the results, everything with them. So why it was not caught that one center in Jhajjar has 6 people who got full marks, 67 students got perfect scores, grace marks. Only after so much of media, this thing, then only the government relented, and the grace mark thing, they were asked to do a retest. And then, of course, various assurances have been given. But honestly, every day, me and my team, we meet a lot of students. There's a fear in the next batch of students. People who are in 11th and 12th, they're even thinking, should we even think of medical? Should we think of NEET? Why? Because it's an unfair process. Second, people who have given it right now, I got a student who's a girl, 670 score, and she is not able to, she will not get the college of her dream. And she's got 670, which is a very good score.
Yeah.
Earlier with 610, 615 score, I would get a rank of say around 7,000. Today with a 630 score, I'm getting a rank of 22,000. So it has become a big joke. I mean, people have got so much marks and there obviously there's something at play. So officials need to be identified. They need to be, there has to be a very strong justice meted out. Only then people will have trust in the government system. And after UGC net also failing, I mean, I think NTA is in a dark cloud and it is being seen. I have other things to say as to how we should proceed, but as of now, absolutely unsatisfactory. The government
Yeah.
has to answer these questions. There has to be, as somebody was also saying, that there should be a Supreme Court judge who should be a part of the committee. They did make a high powered committee, but surprise, the NTA head is the head of the high power committee. I mean, is it a joke? What is happening?
No,
So,
your heart really goes out to these students. And, I'll address what you're talking about, Mr. Chawla, also about the solution here. What should the government ideally do? We'll do that in just a bit. I want to open this up to Charu Pragya and Shama Mohammed. Charu Pragya, to you first. You've heard what Mr. Chawla has had to say. And there are scores of students who've taken the NEET exam this time who would 100% agree with him that first the government was in denial over this particular racket. Now they've woken up to the crisis, but it's a little too late. There are scores of students whose lives have been affected and there's nothing they can do about it now.
Good evening, Akshita. Let me begin by saying that our government has not merely taken complete responsibility for the paper leak that has happened, it has also resolved to fix it to the best of our abilities and in such a way that every loophole for the future will be plugged. Let's also remember that this time the number of students who took the examination, 33 lakh approximately, gave these exams in 550 centers, 4550 centers, and an incident has happened in around 8 of those centers. Every single person who's been affected by this is a precious student, is a precious citizen, and we will do whatever it takes to make sure their future is not jeopardized. In fact, I don't think any other government has ever taken this level of absolute responsibility for something going wrong in the system. So much so that we have in fact ordered a probe into one of our own departments for the UGC net exam which was to happen. We have ordered a CBI probe. That's never happened before. We are committed to ensuring that the culprits of this particular paper leak are taken to task.
But there was initially a denial, Charu. First of all, there was a defense of the NTA. Then there was a denial of a paper leak. So it really does seem like the government woke up late to this crisis.
No, I don't think so. Because Akshita, let me tell you this. The government, in good faith, had believed whatever report had come from NTA. But if there are officials in NTA whose heads need to roll, they will roll. And if you heard Dharmendra Pradhanji's press conference yesterday, he patiently answered every question put to him by every single journalist and reporter present there. Let me, though, draw some images for reference. Today, I believe that this is not a time for politicization of an incident such as this, when already the government has taken responsibility. What can the opposition say? At most, they will say, take responsibility, take onus, fix it. Well, we're already saying that we are fixing it. At the same time, there is this big hue and cry about one photograph of Anand being leaked, which has been clicked with one BJP leader. But at the same time, why is there not been a bigger probe already? And why is there a defense of the RJD nexus that has existed not merely for this particular paper leak, but in a very organized way? So all the way from the days of the Chara Ghotala to most recently Land for Jobs, the Sipahi Bharti scam, There was, in fact, lathi charge that went on in Bihar under the RJD rule, and even now there are clear links established between Tejasvi Yadav, his PA, and the people who were running this nexus.
No, there's a picture also. There's a picture also that's emerged of Samrat Chaudhary, but I'll get to that. Let me give first a chance to Dr. Shama Mohammed to make her opening comments. Mr. Chawla, I see your hand up. I'll come back to you. Dr. Shama Mohammed, your opening comments. BJP maintaining that the response has been very prompt and they're addressing the worries and concerns of these students.
You see, the response of the BJP, especially the education minister, HRD minister, was that the protesters have been motivated. And the NTA said this exam is very clear. It is, nothing is wrong with it. Nobody has done anything wrong in it. That is what the NTA said. Now, when did this happen is when the pressure was put on the government, including my leader, Rahul Gandhi ji, did a press conference asking them for answers. And that's when Mr. Pradhan did a press conference yesterday evening. Charu should also know that their own organization, ABVP, is protesting out there. They themselves are saying the government must answer. Now, look at the discrepancies. She says one Bihar. Bihar, you have caught. There has been a person by the name, there has been a person called Sikandar Yadav, who has been given, Sikandar Yadav, who has been given the paper by Nitish Kumar. Nitish Kumar is the kingpin. He has been arrested. Sikandar Yadav has given this paper to his nephew Anurag Yadav, who clearly has said that he got the paper one day before. 4 students got it. They had to memorize. And that is why when they answered the physics, he's got 85. Biology 55 and chemistry 5 because there was no time to memorize. Then in Delhi and Rajasthan for impersonation, 6 people have been arrested in Rajasthan, 3 in Delhi. And also in Godhra in Gujarat, there have been arrests. So there has been cheating as well as impersonation, number 1. Number 2, we also know that a third party was given to review 400 centers, exactly 399 centers. They found out in 186 centers, you have to have 2 CCTV cameras in each center. In 186 centers, there was only a single camera. They also found out in 69 strong rooms, there was no security guard. So they just did a review of 399 centers. There has been huge discrepancies. One like this, there has been cheating, there has been impersonation, and you have arrested the kingpin, Nitish Kumar, who has admitted to the crime. So the best thing that can be done right now is to cancel this exam. There is no way we can sort it out. And also for the fact of the matter, I've also written an entrance exam. Now, because of the fault of the NTA, you give grace marks. Can you believe it? Grace marks to students. You never do that. How can, and because of that, I think around 50 students, 45 students got the 720 marks, the full marks. And this is the first time 67 students have got 720.
Yeah.
So huge discrepancies everywhere. So what we need to understand is that the NTA is the biggest culprit in both the UGC exam and here. First, you need to disband the NTA. Okay. Cancel this exam and put a re-examination.
Charu, the demand from the opposition is clear here. They're saying you have to cancel NEET. That with these kind of irregularities, we simply can't pretend like everything's fine.
Akshita, somebody has to be accountable. What happens is every time, why do these people keep doing these paper leaks? Because they know there's no conviction.
No, it's a mafia. It's very clearly a mafia that's running across the country. You look at the details that are emerging. It's an exam mafia rampant in the country. Charu, your response.
Akshita, also for the fact that the BJP... Okay, one last point.
Sure.
The NDA government got in a law, and I admire them. They got in a law in 2024, February, to give 10 years imprisonment for cheating if anybody does this, and also 1 crore fine. After that, in UP, the police constable exam, twice there's been paper leak. I want to ask the BJP spokesperson who has been convicted for that. Have you given jail term? As long as you just have laws and you do not implement them.
Let Charu respond now. Let Charu respond.
Nothing is going to happen.
Let Charu respond. Has the government failed to crack down? Has the government failed to crack down, Charu, on these kind of incidents?
point by point, I will respond to everything that Shama has said. Let's begin with this law. Now, this is the first time in India that we have a law by the name of Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Bill, which was passed in just February this year. For the act to come into force, we have to wait for this parliament session. And rest assured, the intention behind passing this was only this, that students' future cannot be jeopardized because of any kind of a mafia, whether it is coaching center run or otherwise. And I do understand Shama's passion in talking about this particular paper leak, but I wish some of this passion had also been shown when Sachin Pilot himself sat against a dharna in Rajasthan against the Gehlot government for 14 paper leaks in the state of Rajasthan, 14 back-to-back paper leaks in Rajasthan, and their own leader was protesting against their CM Gehlot. In fact, most recently they formed a government in Telangana and a TPSC paper leak has happened, but I have not heard a peep from anybody in the Congress about the TPSC paper leak. So it's well and good to be concerned about the students of this country. We all are, but you cannot be selectively concerned. You cannot look at the state of the students and then choose how concerned you are. Another thing is that cancelling of the NEET examination is now the prerogative of the Supreme Court, because that's where the case is pending. Now, we cannot get ahead of ourselves and take decisions which the Supreme Court is going to be taking in a situation like this. A free and fair probe is going on. Bihar police is a part of this probe.
You're in government, Charu. You're in government. You're in government.
No,
Sure,
but
you can't pin it on the Supreme Court to take decisions for you.
No, 1 minute. There is a reason why I'm saying this. There's a reason why I'm saying this. There are, a certain number of people, 1,500 approximately students who are protesting for a certain reason. But have you gone and seen how much goes behind the scenes for preparations for an exam like this for 33 lakh students? So you cannot take the call for 33 lakh students because of some instigated children.
But the Supreme Court can.
Can I come in?
And the Supreme Court, but if a Supreme Court takes a stand on something, Akshita, we have to respect whatever the Supreme Court decides. So why don't we wait and see?
So you're not, essentially the message I get from that is that the BJP, the government is not willing to bite the bullet. You're going to put the onus on the Supreme Court. Dr. Shama Mohammed, your response.
Yeah, I just want to reply.
Let us also
reply to her
understand
on
that 33 lakh students is a huge number of students. My phone just got disconnected, Akshita. If you can help me get connected
We'll reconnect with you. In the meanwhile, Dr. Shama Mohammed, your response. Charu, we'll reconnect
My response is that when she spoke about Rajasthan, that's why in our manifesto, Rahul Gandhi saw to it that there is stringent punishment, if you see that. So we want to correct things. We are very much onto that. The other thing which she kept saying is that the Supreme Court, you're in the government. If you have called off NEET, the UGC NET exam, you can cancel this. Why is the Supreme Court the government of India? You can definitely cancel this because many students are protesting. Number 3, she spoke about Telangana. I can speak about Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, etc. And I can speak about the biggest Vyapam, 42 murders. Who is accountable? The agriculture minister right now should be behind bars. He was the main person, the former chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. No accountability on that. Who is behind that Vyapam scam? Nobody knows. So let's not point fingers. I can point 100 fingers at you. What I'm trying to tell you today is that Dharmendra Pradhan is very wrong. He has to cancel the exam. He has the right to do it. He's the education. You're the government. It's not the Supreme Court. Case need not go there. Just cancel the exam. He doesn't want to because of the pressure put in by the opposition. It would be that way. But we have to think, you are a lawyer. I am a doctor. A lot of us write these exams. We need to think about these students. And it's very important and imperative. And also, let me put one thing in perspective. Why I think we should go back to exams in states, state-wise, because the centralized structure does not suit us. In the United States, they have a centralized education. We do not have. We have the CBSE board, we have the state board, and we have the IB recently, a lot of people. So the NEET exam is much more focused with the CBSE, So a lot of the state board kids, they do entrance, they go and pay a lot of money to study. They can't do these sort of exams because they come out as a bit poor in their biology, chemistry, physics. So that is what I'm trying to say, is that is why Tamil Nadu is also asking for an exam which happened like how it used to have. Theirs is based on what
Sure.
is the marks you get on the 12th standard, just exactly how it is in the US.
No,
Your
there
marks
are a
are
lot
most
of
important.
objections. There are a lot of objections raised about NEET itself, about the process and the manner in which it's conducted, which we'll talk about. But focusing really on what we've seen in the last 24 hours. And I want to bring the focus now to what's been happening in Bihar. And Charu, if I can begin with you on that. Bihar, this paper leak, extremely worrying, because what's very clear is that the rot runs deep. And there will be questions asked about whether the government can ensure justice in this particular case. First, there was a denial that there's no paper leak that's happened in Bihar. Now you have faced the reality that yes, there's been a paper leak and there's been a mafia, a very active one, that's done it in Bihar.
Yes, you're right. And see, while there was no solid proof, we said we will look into the matter. And as soon as the proof emerged, like I said, this has never happened before, that a government is ordering a probe and in fact cancelling one of its own examinations on proof of a paper leak at that level. So, the thing here is, and Akshita, let's be very practical when we look at this. The system that has emerged now has emerged for a reason. There has been incidents across the country because of the pressure our students face of student suicides, and we have discussed that time and time again, and that's heartbreaking. Because of that, there had to be a system where the government felt they could levy some kind of an equalizer, where the syllabus is lowered to a level that a coaching center is not compulsory, where everybody can attempt the NEET examination and be more or less on the same platform when they give that exam. Now, that being said, at the same time, as soon as some discrepancies were found and proof started emerging from the investigation in Bihar, we simply took responsibility and onus. And I cannot stress on this enough. See, you point fingers at a government which wants to shy away from a situation like this. But here is a government, here is a minister who's taking onus and saying it doesn't matter who's connected. We have to get to the bottom of this.
But
it doesn't matter which side of the
also playing out. Is there unnecessary politics
Who's
also on this? With
Who's
pictures, with names coming out.
Why is it that students went and met Rahul Gandhi like this? What was the need, and why is there unnecessary encouragement of creating anarchy on the streets for a situation which could have been handled in a better way, which is being handled in a better way? Please explain that to me. Now, that is politicization.
What is anarchy? One second. Can I come in?
Yeah, Dr. Sharma, go ahead.
I had calls from NEET parents telling me that once there is a child who has even cleared it and she would get admission, her parent was saying we need the cancellation because this is not right. And people, that is why even Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan couldn't go to a university today to do yoga. He had to cancel because of the protest. We are supporting the students who are protesting out there. They call us up and say, we need support from you as a political party because the present dispensation is not listening. If there were no protests, Charu, the education, the HRD ministry, as well as the government would haven't done anything. They would have removed those grace marks. They would have given them a retest, and that's what it. But you have to understand, when you are a doctor, you are dealing with lives of people. As a dentist, I give local anesthetic. It is dangerous. We can't have dimwits coming there. Somebody who's got paper the day before and they clear it. We can't have these sort of things happening in our country. We want proper people getting in. And this is not done. If it is done, we want the cancellation of the exam. We want to know who is accountable for this. We want those people convicted and behind bars. And I believe at this point of time, Dharmendra Pradhan has no right to be in that position. He has to resign because he kept quiet in the beginning. He blamed the students. And then he woke up when Rahul Gandhi gave his press conference and started supporting the students, and other political parties came out strongly in support.
Charu, final comment from you. Has there been a response from the government, a prompt one, because of pressure from the opposition?
No, absolutely not. See, Akshita, I am saying this, that the government has been on its toes for every single concern of this country, every single time. So now if the opposition wants to toot its own horn and say, oh, we got this done, well, congratulations. If you think you did that, that's very good. But if you were so prompt, your own leader, Sachin Pilot, would not be protesting against your own chief minister. You allowed that to happen. Now, at the same time, I'm glad Sharma is speaking in such strong terms. Then they're not going to object when all these links unravel and the call detail records which have come forward of Preetam Yadav, who is a PA to Tejasvi Yadav, will come to the front. Whoever is the culprit needs to be punished, and I'm glad.
I'm glad. I'm glad that both of you agree, whoever is involved, whichever political party is involved, whichever side they're on, they must be punished. There must be a crackdown on that. I'm glad both of you agree with me on that. Mr. Chawla, I'm going to come across to you before I wrap this up on what we started off this discussion with. When I said that I would ask you about what you believe the government should do in this situation. Do you think that this particular NEET should be cancelled?
I don't think so. One, because a lot of people they prepare relentlessly, and some people have got good marks, some people have not. So I would say a lot of people it might not be justified. So cancellation maybe not, but some kind of data analysis can be done so that we can at least weed out, like at least 1560 people who got grace marks, so they have been weeded out. But for future there has to be a change in the system.
Chawla ji, what about impersonation and happening in
for
centers?
future,
It's multiple states, Chawla ji.
For future, what can be done is that NEET can happen 2 times, like JEE also happens 2 times.
Yeah.
Second, it can have 2 levels also.
Technology.
So that there is one level and then an advanced level. So that can also take charge, and automation has to be used significantly.
Yeah, computerized.
I disagree with one of
Computerized
my
exams.
analysts. She said that so many people. China conducts an exam where there are 13.4 million students. It is called Gaokao.
Yeah.
China has done it for so many years.
No, numbers is no excuse. That's just going to keep swelling every year. Numbers is no excuse. We clearly have to get our act together. Hopefully this serves as a wake-up call and we clean up our education system, our exam system, because you look at the number of students now left in the lurch wondering what their future is going to look like. It's heartbreaking to say the least. And we're going to continue tracking this here on India Today to get answers and ensure at least the future of these students isn't compromised in this manner ever again. Thank you, Charu. Thank you to Dr. Shama Mohammed and also to Mr. Chawla for joining us on this broadcast. That's all we have time for. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.
एनटीए तो फुट सोल्जर है ना सरकार का। एनटीए गठित कौन कर रहा है? सरकार कर रही है। जिनको सेंट्रलाइजेशन चाहिए उन्होंने सेंट्रलाइजेशन के नाम पे एनटीए गठित किया है। जो पूरा डेमोक्रेटिक स्ट्रक्चर है एकेडमिया का उसको खत्म करने के लिए एनटीए का गठन किया गया है। तो फुट सोल्जर पे डेफिनेटली गाज गिरनी चाहिए, लेकिन लार्जर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन की है। इसलिए हम लोग की ये भी डिमांड है कि इतने इनकॉम्पिटेंट मिनिस्टर को अब रिजाइन कर देना चाहिए। उनसे नहीं हो पा रहा है, वो ये मान ले।
जाने कितने पेपर्स इस सरकार में लीक हुए हैं और 100% मेरा दावा है कि ये सरकार के लोगों के शाह पे होता है। एनटीए जैसी एजेंसी जो इतनी निकम्मी इनकम्पिटेंट एजेंसी है, उस पे इतने महत्वपूर्ण एग्जाम की जिम्मेदारी दी किसने? और हमारे जो एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर है, सरकार बनते ही उनका पहला एग्जाम में कैंसिल कर दिया गया। तो क्या उनकी जिम्मेदारी नहीं है कि वो संज्ञान लेते हुए अपना इस्तीफा दें?
सर, बहुत सारे छात्र नौकरी करते करते पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं। नेट आपको पता है असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर पीएचडी के लिए होता है। यहाँ पे एमए खत्म करते करते 25-26 साल हो जाता है। आपको लगता है हमारा समाज ऐसा है कि हमारे माँ बाप इसके आगे लड़कियों पर तो शादी का प्रेशर बनने लगता है? तो ये हमारे लिए एक सोर्स है कि हम अपना इंडिपेंडेंट हो पाए। तो वो दोबारा दे रहे हैं, पर जो हमारा समय जा रहा है, हमारा पैसा जा रहा है, हमारी मेहनत जा रही है। बहुत लोग मैं जानती हूँ नौकरी करते करते पढ़ाई कर।
आपने कितने अटेम्प्ट दिए हैं? क्या आप भी आशान्वित थी इस बार?
मैं दे कर आई हूँ और अगले ही दिन सोचिए नोटिस आ रहा है कि पेपर रद्द हो रहा है। कैसा लगता है?
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
भाजपा के सरकारों में देश के युवाओं की जिंदगी के साथ खिलवाड़ किया जा रहा है। और मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहता हूं कि इस देश को भाजपा ने पेपर लीक देश बना दिया है। पिछले 2 साल में आंकड़े उठा के अगर आप देखेंगे, करीब करीब 2 करोड़ युवाओं की जिंदगी बर्बाद हुई है। नीट को लेके बहाने कर रहे थे, अब तो लड़के सामने पकड़ के जो सामने आए हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि हाँ साहब, हमको 1 दिन पहले ही पेपर मिल गया था। तो जब 1 दिन पहले पेपर मिल गया था, पेपर लीक हो चुका था, तो नीट की परीक्षा रद्द क्यों नहीं हो रही है? अब बताइए, यूजीसी का पेपर लीक हो गया, परीक्षा रद्द हो गई। एनटीए जो केंद्रीय शिक्षा मंत्रालय के अधीन आता है, उसके अधीन होने वाले परीक्षाओं का पेपर लीक हो जाता है। तो कोई जवाबदेही प्रधानमंत्री जी की है या नहीं है? शिक्षा मंत्री जी की है या नहीं है?
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 43 and minimum 29 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 31 and minimum 28 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 34 and minimum 25 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 27 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 34 and minimum 26 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 33 and minimum 24 degrees.
हिंदुस्तान्स वेदर रिपोर्ट ब्रॉट टू यू बाय जेके टायर, देश का टायर।
ऐ भारत हम चल पड़े किस जुनून किस शान से, जन्नत नुमा कश्मीर से, आसाम के बागान से, महाराष्ट्र से, गुजरात से, कर्नाटक से, राजस्थान से, तब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से। जय हो विजय हो, देश हो विदेश हो, जेके हो, जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से। जेके टायर, देश का टायर।
Presented by RP संजीव गोयनका ग्रुप, ग्रोइंग लेगेसीज।
को प्रेजेंटेड बाय एक हिंट तो देते, हिंट बड़े आराम से। पावर्ड बाय NECC, संडे हो या मंडे रोज खा वनडे। को पावर्ड बाय policybazaar.com, हर फैमिली होगी इंश्योर्ड। को पावर्ड बाय डिश टीवी स्मार्ट, नए इंडिया का स्मार्ट कनेक्शन।
Mass funeral. Over 50 deaths. Hundreds hospitalized. Tamil Nadu's worst ever Hooch tragedy. CM Stalin orders probe. Who's responsible for 53 deaths? Big focus on Newstrack.
Well, here's the thing. We already know who's responsible for those 53 deaths. The question is, will they pay the price? What is the price of 53 human lives? It's the question we're asking tonight on Newstrack. I'm Shiv. These are the headlines. No relief for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Delhi High Court extends stay on his trial court bail order. Kejriwal stays therefore in Tihar jail for the next couple of days at least. Delhi Water Minister Atishi sits on an indefinite hunger strike as she demands more water for the capital from the Haryana government. BJP calls the Aam Aadmi protest just drama. Bihar NEET paper leak row escalates. RJD releases images of state deputy chief minister with the paper leak accused. Tejasvi Yadav says he's being targeted by the Modi government after his PA's alleged role emerges in the scam. Struggling to fulfill poll guarantees, Karnataka government ropes in multinational Boston Consulting Group to seek suggestions on generating revenue so Siddaramaiah can keep the promises he made to voters that made him win the election. Prime Minister Modi leads Yoga Day celebrations from Srinagar on the banks of the Dal Lake, takes selfies with Kashmiri youth, army personnel perform yoga on the Siachen Glacier and Pangong Lake as well.
The world is looking at yoga as a powerful agent of global good. Yoga helps us live in the present moment without baggage of the past.
It is Tamil Nadu's oldest and most devious disease. It's not the first and it will not be the last. But it is the worst ever hooch tragedy in India's second richest state. 53 citizens, viewer, have died after consuming spurious liquor in Kallakurichi area of Tamil Nadu. Hundreds are still hospitalized. It has now emerged that the main suspect in this entire murderous enterprise was held 10 days ago but was let off. But can the MK Stalin government in Tamil Nadu duck responsibility? The chorus is growing for a ban on hooch and action against the mafia that runs the illicit liquor cartel that runs rampant in Tamil Nadu and is one of the most powerful. The Chief Minister just held a review meeting on the sale of spurious liquor. And when you think about it, how useless is a review meeting over the dead bodies of 53 humans? Will there be a strict crackdown now to ensure that Tamil Nadu's oldest and most sickening malaise never visits again?
Bodies upon bodies lined up for a mass funeral.
These are the makeshift crematorium that has been created. 21 bodies of the 38 are going to be burnt over here, one after the other. It is happening. These are the beloved son, daughter, mother, father and children of the people of this village. The entire village has gathered over here and they are clueless.
What's left now are grief, memories and shattered dreams. This is the story of the many families in Tamil Nadu's Kallakurichi who've lost a family member and in some cases the only breadwinner to spurious liquor. The Stalin government in the state is facing flack over 50 deaths caused in the current hooch tragedy. Many are calling out the callousness of the state government machinery in simply failing to curb the sale of illegal liquor. The opposition AIA-DMK staged a black protest against MK Stalin, while the BJP launched a scathing attack on the leadership.
It's very unfortunate, and our Honorable Chief Minister has not gone to that place. He is sending Udayanidhi. So it is not a family program. The local people say it has been a practice for quite a long time. Why didn't they prevent it? And there is a strong connection between the DMK functionaries and these type of activities.
இது நெஞ்சை பதற வைக்கின்ற சம்பவம், நாட்டையே உலுக்கிக் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற சம்பவம். இதையெல்லாம் சட்டமன்றத்திலே பேச வேண்டும் என்று பேரவைத் தலைவரிடத்திலே அனுமதி கேட்டோம். பேரவைத் தலைவர் அனுமதி மறுத்துவிட்டார்.
The Madras High Court has sought a report from the state government. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin says a probe has been ordered.
தமிழ்நாட்டின் முதலமைச்சர் முறையில் இந்த பிரச்சனையிலிருந்து நான் ஓடி ஒளிவப்பு நல்ல பொறுப்பை உணர்ந்ததற்காக இருந்தால் பொறுப்போடு பதிலளித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். குற்றவாளிகளை கைது செய்துவிட்டு தான் உங்களுக்கு பதிலளித்திருக்கிறேன். திறந்த மனதோடு இரும்பு கரங்கொண்டு குற்றம் புரிந்தவர்களை அடக்கி வருகிறேன்.
3 suspected bootleggers have been arrested and they have a criminal history. The police are on the lookout for the alleged kingpin, Chinnadurai, who allegedly supplied the distilled arak that caused the deaths. This is the second such tragedy in 2 years. Last year, 22 persons were killed after consuming similar illicit alcohol laced with methanol. But it looks like deaths are just a number for the DMK government. With Pramod Madhav in Kallakurichi, Tamil Nadu, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, viewer, with 53 people dead and counting and over 120 fighting for their lives as we speak, as I bring you this broadcast tonight, this is by far Tamil Nadu's worst hooch tragedy. And by that metric, you already understand that this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. And you're right. Let me just take you through some of those numbers. In May 2023, just over a year ago, 22 people died after consuming spurious liquor in Villupuram and Chengalpattu. In 2008, 41 people died of alcohol poisoning in one particular incident. In February 1999, 15 people died in the Puttalur village in Tamil Nadu. In August 1998, 45 people died in Paravuthi and Yenasole. All these are pieces of data that cannot be denied, and I have only highlighted incidents where more than 12 people have died. There are a number of cases where 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people have died over the last many years. So hooch tragedies in Tamil Nadu is almost like a second skin. I'm going to get into it deeper right now. Joining me live, Shehzad Poonawala, National